Welcome, revelers. This is Off the Rails, Right versus Left, the podcast that we do because we think the left is evil. I'm Rob B.
And I'm Brad Lee.
And I'm Brian G.
And we are Off the Rails, Right versus Left. Again, we're doing this show because we think everybody needs to know that the left is evil.
Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Rails, Right versus Left, the podcast that we do because we want everybody to know that the left is evil. I'm Rob B. With me as always is the destroyer of Democrat delusions.
Brad Lee. Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving. How's it going, Rob?
Not too bad. Of course, if you guys have been following the show, you know we normally have Brian G with us. But it's the holiday season, so it gets kind of crazy for a lot of us this time of year. So it was crazy for both of us today too. We just wanted to pop in for a little bit so we can do a little bit of a show, make sure that we say Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. God bless you guys during the holidays. What's it say? Oh, you lost your mic, bro.
But the mute button. Come and take it because they're trying to cancel Dr. Seuss.
Nice. So, where'd you get that one?
Hodge Twins.
Nice. I love the Hodge Twins. I've got my white privilege card at the house.
I got a bunch of their t-shirts and wristbands and all kinds of shit.
I think they're actually coming to Houston soon too. So I should see if I can check out their show.
Yeah, they usually come to the Texas area. They've been to Dallas a few times. I haven't gone to see them yet though.
Yeah, I want to.
I've seen Steven Crowder do stand up with Dave Landau. Oh my God, Dave Landau is funny.
Nice. So anyway, because it's kind of a special show for the holiday, we were going to have like our normal format where we talked about something specific, but hey, it's the holiday, so let's take it easy. We're just gonna kind of bullshit a little bit. I know, Brad, there was something in the current events that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, well, first off, I wanted to start off by, letting people know what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful that here in the state of Texas, more babies will be born than murdered. And I'd like to say that I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire and everything that they do to try and stop this madness of trans and the kids and their not too secret gay agenda. I'm thankful for having this podcast and having a voice and being able to talk to you guys about it. I'm thankful for the Constitution, and I'm thankful for the death of all the soldiers that gave us this freedom, and me and Rob the right to sit here and bicker back and forth and get our word out to the world, and just let people know that I'm thankful for moral norms, which is kind of going to the wayside, and we need to fix that. And I'm thankful that Rob and I got back in touch with each other and decided to come up with this great idea for an outstanding, awesome podcast. And that's about all I'm thankful for. How about you, Rob?
My list is pretty short. I'm just thankful to be here. I'm thankful to have people that love me. I'm thankful to have the ability to provide for the people that I love. And I am thankful that I live in the greatest nation that's ever been. I agree with what you're saying about the work that Daily Wire does, but I mean, we got to also give the shout out to like Turning Point USA. They're doing great stuff. Uh,
Blaze.
Crowder, the Hodge twins, like everybody that's just trying to push back about this culture war that the right was just trying to sit out for the last 60 years. So I'm thankful that there are people that are out there and they're starting to fight. And I mean, we always had people like Rush Limbaugh and the Great One and all that, but like it's just taken on a whole new level. And the next generation is taking up the cause and fighting the good fight. And I'm thankful that we have that.
Awesome. Outstanding. Yeah, so it's been a little while since we've talked to you guys, but like Rob was saying, there's some stuff in current events that have happened. Like since we talked, there was a nightclub shooting at Q, the infamous gay bar in Colorado, and people were really quick to blame us conservatives for the hate that was being befallen on the gay community in that bar. And you know, you had basically everybody. You had Joyless Reed. You had all kinds of people saying just nasty stuff about people on the right, and the bodies hadn't even been picked up from the club yet when they started putting out this rhetoric, like towards Matt Walsh and Candace Owens, saying that they had blood on their hands. And come to find out, you wait like the Dan Bongino rule, 24 to 48 hours, and you get the true story. And what we found out now is that apparently this moron who's got an issue going on in his head, like most mass shooters do, identifies as non-binary. So that kind of destroys the whole media narrative that it was hate from the right, because the right, the conservatives, don't refer to themselves with pronouns. That's just simple.
So yeah, and I mean, obviously we don't have any information about it, but pretty much every time there's one of these shootings, like targeting a gay club or whatever. Well, I mean, we can talk about quite a few different shootings. Like most of the school shootings are people that are either in school or just out of school and miserable, and their life was hell while they were in school. These gay shootings, they were gay and like abused by somebody for being gay, or they're straight and were abused by somebody who was gay. I mean, that's the story that ends up coming out over the long haul. But of course, so what the media does though is they paint this narrative that tries to make it seem like, oh, it's because of the evil Republicans, when in actuality, and then like half the time it turns out that the cause of it was actually the evil bullshit and brainwashing and abuse that the left goes into.
Right.
Like I'm sorry, in general, of like conservatives, even libertarians who like don't even want to like, you know, put in commentary on issues like gay marriage and stuff like that, just because it's not the government's business and that's their position. They're still generally like they still think it's a choice and that it's the wrong choice, and like irresistible urges are things that we all have to deal with and we all have to struggle with. And this is every single one of these cases are people having irresistible urges that they can't control. But what part of society is saying that you have to control your urges, and what part of society is saying, oh, you don't have to control your urges, you can do anything we want, and we're gonna normalize your abnormal behavior. So, and that seems to be all of these mass killings end up coming down to normalization of abnormal behavior. But when it goes this far, then it's something. But then you like look back at, go. Sorry, I'm just like,
no, you're good. Keep going.
No, so like, I mean, even if you look at the reporting, like back during like the days of the DC shooter, before it was so 100% blatant, back when the media was still pretending to be balance, like even that they were like all over this. They were putting on like FBI people that were like doing you know, the suspect. What do they call it? Oh, my brain's not working. The profile for the
Right.
suspect. You know, white male, this age to this age. You notice when it turned out that they were black Muslims, that story disappeared off the news faster than shit. I don't even know
Oh
what they
yeah.
were sentenced to.
Yeah. No, they stopped caring after that.
Right. So, but what they do is for the narrative, because unfortunately, we've done amazing things in this country, but growing our attention span is not one of them. Our shows
No.
is a great example. Like the first half an hour of what all of our shows has a ton of watch time, but then like a fraction of our viewers, and we're getting like hundreds of viewers every single day. We're getting thousands of viewers a month now. So like it's awesome, but still the majority of people can't make it past the first 30 minutes. We don't have an attention span. So what the media does is they punch this bullshit narrative to demonize probably, I think, over 60% of the population, because I think over 60% of the population actually holds conservative values. Just a lot of them are voting D because they don't realize their values are actually conservative because they don't even know what Democrats stand for. So by the
Right.
time that first 24-hour news cycle has passed, everybody's attention span is gone. And so like when it's on the 25th page of their Facebook page or the 30th page of the newspaper or what have you, like the attention span's already gone and nobody ever sees the update on the story that, oh, wait a minute, it wasn't uh, evil evil Republican stuff after all. It turns out it was actually evil Democrat stuff, but they never get the information. Anyway, you can go ahead and respond to that. I was kind of like ranting a minute.
And no one holds them accountable for the stuff that they do. There's a lack of accountability, and these people know that, and so they're not afraid to do that because there is no accountability. There's no accountability to tell the truth. There's no accountabilities for lies. Only for Alex Jones. Alex Jones is the man who's bad, so we can't let Alex Jones speak. But yeah, no, they got this one completely wrong. And not too long ago in New York, there was a bar that got attacked. And it turns out the guy that attacked the bar was gay as well. It looks like I just lost Rob for some reason. He'll jump back in. So, but yeah, so they blamed Matt Walsh and Candace Owens and a bunch of other people. And then they had to come out with an apology. And they apologized to Matt Walsh. They took the tweet down that said that Matt Walsh had said something and totally got rid of the story altogether. So like Rob was saying, they just sweep it under the rug and hope that nobody gets any of the better of it.
I made the Brad mistake there.
Back, Rob.
I was trying to put a graphic up on the screen, but that went horrible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you not hear me?
Shit, I can't hear anything.
Well, what the hell, man? Can you hear me now?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Dude, what happened to the stream?
Looks like
Okay,
we're
say
having
something.
technical difficulties. Are you back?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yep, perfectly.
Okay.
That was annoying.
anyways.
I did what you tried to do the other night of putting up a graphic, and I lost it. So let me reconnect my headphones here because that sound is way better.
You there?
Yeah, I was reconnecting my headphones.
All right.
So anyway, yeah. So, but yeah, that's the way they push the narrative. Like it's twisted. It's twisted.
It is. Well,
God,
this shooter, this non-binary shooter, this maniac at the gay bar. Apparently, in Colorado, there's red flag laws, and the cops had been to his house prior to this, where he was threatening his mother with a bomb. You know, so I mean, these people aren't insane. We need to fix that.
Dude, well, and see, it proves the red flag laws. The problem with the red flag laws, like
Right. Then no one ever
they
goes
don't.
through with them.
Well, and even if they do, there's not much you can do about somebody who hasn't actually done anything yet. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to take action preventatively, and the way you preventatively take action is you teach these people normal moral values. You teach these people how to respect other individuals. You know what I mean? Like if they had a respect for human life, they wouldn't be going out and killing a bunch of human life. And if they had respect for themselves, they wouldn't be pretending. Oh, we got a comment on one of the streams. Where's Brian? Brian is busy because of the holiday. He should be joining us on the Friday watch party, hopefully. But yeah, today is just a weird day for his work. He couldn't get out of it.
Someone commented?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Yeah, it came across the direct messages from the Facebook stream.
Right on. Well, thanks for watching, y'all. We appreciate you. What was the name of the user?
Huh?
What was the name of the comment?
It came off of Facebook, so I'm not gonna promote that.
Oh, okay. You're not gonna.
Yeah, it's real name, so I'm not gonna advertise.
Oh, okay.
So, but they just asked where Brian is, so.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Brian's got a funky schedule, so.
Hey, it is what it is. Like I'm just lucky enough that what I'm doing is so simple that I can actually still keep going while I'm doing it because it's insanely busy for me too. But hey, we do what we got to do to make sure that we can keep bringing the show to you.
That's right.
So, what new updates were they beyond the fact that it turned out like he was non-binary and whatever?
As far as I know, he's just had confrontations with the law. I guess his parents were trying to get his weapons taken away with the red flag laws, but they said that it was some time-consuming matter or something like that.
Well, yeah, and then I still say that like the minute they actually start like collecting on weapons and stuff on these people under red flag laws, all the red flag laws are going to get torn down. They're not constitutional, like at all.
Right.
Like, and I mean, I want him to take the guns from somebody, and I want it challenged because I want it gone. So, and here's the reason why I say that. The idea is supposedly to prevent shootings. How's it going to prevent shootings?
Right.
Like clearly it's not where they exist. But what it does do is offer up a great avenue for Democrats to abuse their power even more when they have power. I mean, look at the way our head turnip went on his little Death Star the Death Star rant, like talking about basically like conservatism is crazy and fascism and all that. How long before they say conservatism is a mental disorder? Get one of their bought-off scientists to put out a study that conservatism is a form of schizophrenia or something. And the next thing you know, being a conservative means you can't own a gun anymore because under the red flag laws, they come and take it away before you can do something.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I can see the path.
It's just another step in their many steps that they have to take away our gun rights and our guns.
Yeah.
Citizens.
Exactly. The only ones that they want to have guns is the people they control. That's why they want to defund the police, but arm their private security. They want to defund the populace that's supposed to have weapons in case our government ever abuses us, but they aren't trying to take away the military's guns.
You know, it's funny. Usually on a mass shooting thing like this, Biden did come out and say that we need to ban assault weapons, which is stupid because you can't. We're gonna ban hammers now because of Pelosi. I mean, come on. That was an assault hammer, right? Because it was used to
Yeah,
assault him.
yeah,
So,
and we actually talked about that before about how like the
right.
majority of deaths aren't actually by guns, and
But
especially not
but
assault rifles.
my point is the point that I was. Let me see
Yeah.
if I can remember what my point was. Okay, yeah.
Banning
So
assault hammers.
they want usually they come out and they say they use it to advance their gun agenda, but this time they were too quick to jump on the fact that it was a hate crime. It was almost like Juicy Smollett all over again. I mean, because look, literally, that's what they did. They came out, in fact, Tucker Carlson, your best buddy, Dan
What the
Bongino,
fuck,
Candace
dude?
Owens, Ben Shapiro, and Matt Walsh. They all blamed them for what happened because it was a hate crime. Turns out now, after you wait a little while and get some more information, that oh yeah, he identifies as non-binary. And some of the stuff after the news found out about it and had to change their thing, they were surprised that this person was part of the LGBTQ community.
I'm not surprised. Like it
I'm
makes
not
perfect
either.
sense to me.
When I first heard about it, I was like, "Oh, that's some gay dude that got raped and was pissed off or had been slighted, and fucking went to the place to shoot somebody that he was pissed at." That's where my mind went when it first
You
came out.
know,
This
now
is not.
here's the funny thing. How come it doesn't make national news every time some gangbanger walks into a club and shoots it up?
Right. That happens often.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah. Oh, except for it's not a marginalized community. That's why. It's not.
Really, in those nightclub shootings, the majority of the victims are usually black.
It's not that high up on their hierarchy of things to
Wow.
worry
So
about.
even black people aren't high enough now to worry about?
I mean, isn't that what it seems to you? It's not what I'm saying. That's just what I'm getting.
Yeah, the only person who's truly like untouchable these days is a gay black man, Juicy Smollett.
Right? Exactly.
So, yeah, what a fucking douche. Anyway,
Dude, I gotta tell you, I'm thankful that nobody else got hurt, and I'm saddened about the people that did die. But shame on the media for their reporting on this because it was terrible, wrong, and just evil. It was evil.
you know what I think we need to do? We need to like get rid of the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah, just what. Yeah, it has to wait.
Yeah, I mean that they should not be allowed to do unless it's an actual emergency news break. They should not be broadcasting 24 hours a day. They should recycle the news the second half of the day like they did originally when CNN
Right.
and MSNBC and MSDNC and
You mean back when it was only the 5 channels?
yeah.
Yeah.
So no, like even in the early days of cable, they like repeated their programming on a loop. But now they're like trying to make headline stories because they're just trying to drive in that content. But they get so much wrong, nobody watches them.
Yeah, and that's because they're so quick to jump on a narrative. That's what it is. Instead of just being like, "Hey, there was a shooting at a nightclub in Colorado Springs or wherever it was. There was just saying that there was a shooting there and that we don't know much more about it, but we will get to the details to you as we get them." Instead of just going,
Yep.
"Oh, it's these Republicans that are pushing all this transphobia and homophobic hatred." And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that a phobia is an extreme fear of something, right?
Yeah, I haven't met a faggot yet that I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I haven't met anybody in the LGBTQ plus ampersand $ poo emoji tilde brackets community. There's nobody that I've found there that I'm afraid of. And if I saw one, I would straight up say, "You're a dude," or "You're a chick," although the chicks looking like dudes are more harder to figure out. But
Yeah, I'm with you. So, and yes, I did use the word that I used because I absolutely refuse to bow down to this idea that there's words that we can't say because
yeah,
everybody knows exactly what I meant, and I did not say it with malice in my heart.
right. And that's the thing. It's too hard to prove a hate crime. So, the news is
Well,
trying to spin it, saying that he's just using that so that he doesn't get charged with a hate crime. Blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, because
no, no.
that's something that a fucking conservative or Republican would do.
So, I don't know. Lives are wrong anyway.
Yeah, because how do you prove
If you
that
kill
someone
somebody,
shot-
you should get punished for murder.
Right?
How is one murder more egregious than another murder? No matter what your fucking insane ass reason for ending somebody's life, it's just insane to end somebody's life.
Absolutely, and that begins at conception too.
I wasn't even angling at that, but yeah, but I mean, like,
that's not, but I'm saying that that's where most conservatives sit.
yeah, like life is precious. The exception that conservatives have is people that destroy other people's lives, murderers, rapists. You know, those people should receive the death penalty. Now, it's funny to me that Democrats are perfectly okay, harmless, guiltless unborn babies. But if somebody goes and murders a bunch of their protected classes, somebody goes on an actual like trans hatred shooting spree, they would not think that person deserves to get executed. Only innocent babies can die.
Right.
Makes no goddamn sense.
Right.
And I'm sorry, nobody stays in prison anymore. So anybody who does this kind of crimes, they're going to get out and do it again. I mean, shoot, like I talked about in my the other day in my company casualty report. Like in Houston alone, 150 people were murdered by people that were let out of jail in the name of social justice.
Yep, and that's
Criminals are, yeah, criminals are going to criminal. Killers are going to kill. Crazy people are going to do crazy shit. Like, you know, putting lipstick on a pig isn't going to change it. It's still a pig.
And letting them out early for some stupid reason is just contributing to the factor. Like you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
a criminal's going to criminal, like you said, more. And if we don't provide incentive for them not to do it, being harsher punishments, like the death
deterrence,
penalty. If someone knows that if they take someone's life, their life is going to be taken, they tend to not do it. I mean, that's like these whole protesters for the World Cup that thought they were going to wear a rainbow patch to play their game, and then they got called out. No, you're not. If you do, you're going to get a yellow card, and apparently a yellow card is a bad thing in the world of soccer. So,
by the way, like I want to try and get it for the new year, but I'm making a PowerPoint. They made the argument. Leftists make the argument that crime rates are higher in states that have the death penalty. But I actually I put together a chart comparing when you remove Democrat-led cities, the murder rates and the murder rates of rape victims, where it was rape homicide. Because the argument is, if you give death penalty for rape, then they're going to kill their victims.
Right.
So, but I actually it took a lot of work to remove the Democrat cities out of it, but I found a correlation there that once you remove the Democrat cities, the rate in places where there's the death penalty is actually like a quarter.
Right.
So it does. Yeah, and why is it the worst Democrat cities have the highest rapes and murder rates and all that, because they don't punish criminals. They don't deter them.
They don't incentivize them not to do the crime.
Disincentivize is probably a better word there. Disincentivize them for committing crime.
Whatever, man. If you didn't know what I said, then you got a smooth brain.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Anyway, you probably need to keep watching our show.
Smooth brains. Yeah, they're going to watch the show so they can be called smooth brains.
Yep. I'm going to tell them how they cannot be smooth brains. Like, do some research, read a book.
Don't take our word for it.
Media. Yeah, don't take my word for it. Always assume that I'm telling you something wrong.
What's the search engine? Fuck, it's like the #1 referring search engine for our show.
I don't know.
No, you're the one that said. Oh, what is it?
DuckDuckGo?
DuckDuckGo. That's it. Yeah. Go search on DuckDuckGo anything that we say, and you'll get the truth. Don't search it on Google. Don't search it on Yahoo.
Yeah, Google and Yahoo probably have it buried in the bowels of their system. Did you freeze up on me, Rob? Oh, you muted.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
No, somebody like trying to interrupt the show. So I sent him a quick angry. Yeah, I sent a emoji as a reply to where I show. So, but yeah, I mean, that's actually with the media. And then if they are completely wrong, warp the narrative by changing the context or leaving out half the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the stories that they run with. First of all, this one, it just like the one that happened in Orlando, shooting at the gay nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
They did the same with the narrative that it was a hate crime, and I'm pretty sure that was not a hate crime.
No, it was probably the person that has a mental problem. You know, like all these people. Yes, I said these people, these transgender, confused, homosexual, don't realize you can't have a family without a man and a woman. You got a serious mental problem and you need help. And you should probably seek help before you do some stupid crap like go and shoot up a nightclub.
And so that's like, so from my view, homosexuality is okay, but hear me out on this, Brad. The urge to commit acts of violence is completely natural. To be promiscuous is completely natural. It's us from animals is and reason our way away from doing horrible things. Does that make sense?
Guilt. Yeah, that's why we have guilt.
And that's it. The normalization of all this aberrant behavior in society, like there's no guilt for doing things that are wrong.
Right, because they have no traditional moral values, which is what this country needs to go back to. Like every year, it's tradition for us to have Thanksgiving. And on Thanksgiving, we have traditional things like turkey and mashed potatoes, gravy, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie, apple pie. That's why we do those things, because it's a traditional norm. And the traditional norm is to have a mom and a dad. It goes mother, father, children, right? A husband, wife, family. Okay, that's the traditional norm. And the Democrats are trying to get rid of it, obviously, because they want to destroy the nuclear family and they want to have control over our children, which is why they want our children in school for so long and why they want us to have a 2-income family, you know, so they that they have more control over your children than you do as far as raising them goes. It's indoctrination at its finest. And the fascists are the ones that like to indoctrinate people.
I just finally read the entire ticker.
Oh, yeah?
So I want to add in there. I want to add one little thing that I'm thankful for. Thankful for Golden Corral.
Oh, yeah? Is that where you're going tomorrow?
That's where I'm going tomorrow. My kids, their grandparents' house for Thanksgiving. So like on their mom's side, you know, like all the rest of my people are old, and you know, you're up in Dallas, Brian's up in Washington, Shane's down in Del Rio these days. Yeah, so that's gonna be. I'm gonna be doing the Corral Thanksgiving dinner.
Nice.
Yeah, last year was the first time in a long time I didn't have to clean up after cooking a big.
Well, that's nice. Man,
Yeah, like I
about inviting you to come up here.
But would have done that.
What's that?
I probably would have done that.
See, that would have been cool. We could have been fucking podcasting from the same fucking place.
It would have been cool, like Friday, to do the podcast from the same place. So I'm able to work up there. I don't know. I'd have to check that out.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
I'm just curious. I never even like thought to try it. It's interesting.
That'd be sick. Could have you come up for New Year's or something.
What's the
what?
There.
What's the weather?
Zip code.
Oh, 76137, I think. Hold on, I'll find out.
South Fort Worth, Denton, Fort Worth, Soto, Frisco, Central Dallas, Hearst, Lake Worth. Yeah,
yeah, that's the area. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, now I know. Yeah, it's in the state of Texas. Texas was really cool about how they wrote job laws. So it's like all one area for most. So that's pretty damn sweet.
That is sweet.
So we're gonna have to arrange that. If I end up there, we'd be watching some football.
Yeah.
So who's playing tomorrow? I mean, obviously Dallas and Denver are playing.
Dallas is playing Washington. The Bucks are playing the Browns.
That'll be another.
Oh wait, no. The 24th. Okay, sorry. So the Giants are playing the Cowboys at 3:30. The Bills are playing the Lions at 11:30.
That's it, right?
And I think,
2 games?
I think that's it. That's the only 2 games. Yep.
All right. So more current events about Musk.
Elon Musk, what about him?
Dude, he's keeping to his words. He's political prisoners.
Political prisoners? What?
The people that were in permanent Twitter jail.
Oh yeah.
So like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't just Trump. Like a lot of people, he's like reactivated everybody. Like Marjorie Taylor. Shoot, I can't even think of like a list of like 50 like
Jordan Peterson,
top like conservatives. Yeah, been reinstated. So that's cool. I am disappointed that he bitched out.
What?
Like Alex, I'm disappointed that he like went punk on Alex Jones. Reinstate Alex Jones.
Elon Musk lost a kid, didn't he?
I don't care. Absolute
Yeah,
free
I don't.
speech is
Yeah, I don't know how.
absolute
I don't
free
know how.
speech.
I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, like you say, it's free speech, but I don't know. I mean, I can understand why he wouldn't let Alex. Alex Jones is pretty out there, but yeah, he should. He
Yes,
should have
but
let
it
him
means
go.
you're allowed to be out there, and exactly what the previous Twitter people, that they were banning them based on their personal convictions. Free speech,
Right.
speech based on your personal convictions, your personal experience, or your personal life. You do not get to ban free speech. It's going to be a free speech platform. Elon Musk, fucking do the job and fucking unban everybody who is not. Alex Jones was not promoting violence. He was not. He did not say, "Hey, you should go harm so and so." He should not harm. You
Hey, try and keep
get
a
what I'm
rant
saying?
going, because yeah, try and keep a rant going because I got to go do something real quick.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, just the free speech encroachment. It always starts small, and if Alex Jones, then who's to say somebody else under questionable circumstances? Alex Jones is he's completely insane, hilarious, but allowed to say what he wants to say. At the same time, pedophiles and all of this, these transgender people, they should have a right to too, but they should have the opportunity to come up against the opposition. Jones is sitting there saying some crazy shit, then the public should be allowed to respond to that. If transgender activists are saying crazy shit, give them the opportunity to push back against it. But on Twitter right now is you do see a lot of conservatives coming back to Twitter. You see a lot of liberals leaving it. Why? Because a debate is not something that fascists want, and liberals are fascists. You look at it like Turning Point USA. What happens? People show up and try and shut them down like they're. Same thing when you get the like you used to get it with the gun girl, and people would be attacking her like from the very beginning. They hero, like the least imposing figure that I've ever seen. Very intelligent. He articulates complex thoughts and handle complex thoughts, and you find that threatening. That says something about you. And he's never advocated for anybody to be harmed whatsoever. He's ever come is suggesting that criminals should be punished in accordance with the law. But obviously, he hasn't been removed yet. And I actually, I kind of like into this on YouTube. Our very uploaded on YouTube. We caught a strike, and why did we catch the round? The Voldemort virus. The one whose name we cannot speak. And I mean, I think you can now, but I just like calling it the Voldemort virus. But we had our very first podcast when I videotized. We had it removed, and we got a strike. Why? Because we literally just repeated something that of the Supreme Court said that it was false, and what we were talking about was false, and yet YouTube was censoring us. And of course, if you know anything about YouTube, if you get a strike, then they're going to eventually. So, free speech absolutist. If you're not allowing everybody to be absolutist, while the things that Alex Jones said may have been disgusting, while you may have found it, while people may have been traumatized by what he said, yeah, that would actually be the sensationalism by the news willing to bet none of these teachers or none of these parents and none of these families are watching Alex Jones to begin with. No, it was the movie rehashing and this Alex Jones, and not just not. Yeah, I lost my train of thought on that one. But yeah, they need to like stop people everywhere. The other issue that I have on it, not exactly in lockstep, but the way that they ban people, it's a coordinated effort between all the platforms, like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything, all at the same time. So this is a coordinated effort to points of view. So it's nice that Twitter's starting to, Elon Musk, you're full of shit. You said you're a free speech absolutist, and you're leaving somebody banned that did not promote committed. So that we're making progress. We'll take the small victory. I stuck it up, put Alex Jones back. I don't even really like follow Alex Jones. I actually watched him like maybe a month ago, and I was just like, man, crazy. Like that was my first impression. That he's crazy. Anyway, so we do have a lot going on over in Ukraine. Brad's away for the moment, so he's not gonna chime in on this yet. But same thing with Russia and Putin. Exactly what Democrats do. This is a funny observation of mine. So he goes on the attack, claiming that the other side is Nazi, the other side is fascist. Okay, and the first thing he does, knocks out their communications. You know, silence the opposition. Fascist behavior. And then he begins to make the argument that Ukrainians aren't real people. Systematically destroy them. He's trying to destroy their light and their heat in the middle of winter so he can freeze them out. He's trying to destroy their ability to move food and so like doing everything in order to eliminate the Ukrainian people. That's the definition. That's Nazism to the extreme. Just like the Democrats here, he's accusing every coincidence. I think not. Back before that.
All right, sorry, man. Had an emergency.
So yeah. Well, while you're gone, on this, but I pointed out that Russia.
I heard most of what you were saying.
Oh, you heard most of it?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about my perspective that Putin is doing, like accusing the other side of being Nazis and fascists, and Nazis and fascists do?
Well, I think they're both Nazis and fascists on both sides. I mean,
there's not every country. Yes, there were some Nazis and fascists in Ukraine, but hey,
I mean, on CNN, they had a video of a Ukrainian soldier standing there with a flag, and then he fucking put up the fucking Hail Hitler sign. The salute.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Okay, so we now convict entire the action of one person.
Well, that's what they do, but no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying until I know more about it, I'm not going to say much about the situation because I don't know.
So and then like in that situation, like a small number, there's like several hundred members of the battalion.
The thing is,
they were actually Nazis.
are they really? Do they have proof of these Nazi fascists in Russia?
No, but that's no. So that's my point. I'm not talking about Nazi fascists in Russia. I'm talking about the just behavior of like I don't know an entire race of people. You know, very Hitler-esque. Claim that an entire race of people aren't people, and this sounds very Hitler-esque to me. Exactly what Putin did.
We could do
after he launched his
better and go say that China's doing the same thing. So I mean,
China is very say smoothly, but covertly the arguments that Japan made taking over the Pacific about how it should be law. Well, it turns out, as evil as they claim that they were, they actually agree 100% with the Japanese. They just think they should be in. You know what I mean? And they were obviously, it was never made because they were but so like because they were literally an empire, like they were imperialists, but like most fascists, like the fascists were, they just wanted a fascist empire. Adolf wanted to be Napoleon. He wanted to have an empire.
Right.
You know what I mean? And and Germany's complaints following World War I and how we're like, I mean, the reality is they didn't start World War I, right? But they ended up whooping a lot of ass involved. And then the majority fell on Germany, and it impoverished that country for 20 years. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he had legitimate gripes. Now, Putin had some legitimate gripes about, but the vitriol that he started spouting about these guys are not fascists, and then he shows a picture of one group of Nazis and says, all Nazis. Okay, well, you can. There's groups in almost every country on Earth, including in the United States. Americans are Nazi because you took a picture of a gathering of skinheads. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, but that's what Democrats do. Is and the funny thing is they're making the connection. They just take a picture of a group of Nazis. See, all Republicans are Nazis. What the fuck do these people have to do with Republicans?
Right.
Like one of them's wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat.
Yeah, they have no information or facts to prove what they're saying is right.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's the problem with the media. They never have to cite their sources. They can just say sources close to the matter, or they never have to give a name and put a name and face.
Yeah, and from the Trump collusion bullshit, make shit up and just name a source investigation. Well, I was technically standing close to the Starbucks, so my own fucking voices in the back of my head are investigation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We're going to investigate the investigators investigating themselves.
Right. So then the comparison between Democrats and Putin's fascist Russia and the way that they're behaving, now he stepped up his rhetoric, and now he's trying to destroy all the infrastructure, which is successful in what he wants to do. All the Ukrainians would freeze to death. And since it's already clear that he was trying to annihilate in the areas that he controlled, or at least from my take, importing out of India too, who's kind of fucking, they're like against Russia. They're not for what they're doing, but they're not against it. You know what I mean? Cheap gas from Russia. So they're not really like speaking out against Russia. Their news channels are reporting that this shit is actually happening. There are actually mass graves actually trying to cleanse Ukraine of Ukrainians. Like, it's clear that the attempt to take away any ability to heat in winter is an attempt to just eliminate all of the Ukrainians all at once. Flip it over to the Democrat equivalent. Well, they're not trying to like live, but every chance they get any excuse to attack some, or not even somebody conservative, anybody who's like conservative side on a position, because the fucking liberal Democrats insane, and they try and destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
And look at what they tried to do to Gina Carano. Thank God for Daily Wire that she still has a career.
Yeah. Well, I think she would have had a career without the Daily Wire, but the Daily Wire certainly did help a lot. But,
Disney canceled her, and how much power do they have?
Oh, they're losing power for sure, mostly to the Daily
Yeah.
Wire. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, so
I think that she's talented enough, and there's people out there fucking. Because the Daily Wire isn't the only conservative media out there.
Okay,
Gina just started.
But my analogy. So what are they doing? They're trying to destroy all the conservatives. There's no conservatives left, or until the ones that are like join the other side.
Right. Yeah,
which is what trying to do in Ukraine.
They're definitely trying to tear down the Republican Party. That's for sure. I mean, look, they're already starting to push for Ron DeSantis and Glenn Youngkin in the presidential race. That neither of them have even toyed with the fact that they're going to say that they're going or running.
Just thought of that.
There's two people running for president in 2024. One's Ye and one's President Trump.
He hasn't committed yet.
Kanye's going to take 200 of the votes.
Yeah, and they're also in the back of his head. Nuts. I mean, I like him. He's funny. Like, I his music. But the guy's undoubtedly hilarious.
Oh, for sure.
So, anyway, your turn to go on a rant.
Well,
so I thought it was an interesting comparison, though. Like between the Russian tactics attempting to like destroy conservatives and the way the like attempt to Russians are trying to destroy Ukrainians and the way Democrats are trying to destroy Republicans. I thought because it's the same battle tactics.
So just to get back on what you were saying about the Russians trying to destroy Ukrainians, weren't the Ukrainians trying to do that to the Russians as well, though? Because I've heard stories that they were trying to get the Russians to disown their Russian-speaking language and only speak Ukrainian.
Okay. So here we go. Here is the actuality. Okay. They made Ukrainian the official language of Ukraine people to learn it in school and to government paperwork. 90% of the countries in the world have an official language. Service is in that language.
What? You cut out.
They were requiring 90% of the countries in the world have an official language, and all governments to be in that language. And that's all Ukraine was doing. They made Ukrainian the official, and the people in the East that spoke primarily had to do business in Ukrainian because they live in Ukraine. Now, mind you, the border is 100 miles away if you want to live in Russia. Everybody there at one time was a Russian citizen to move to Russia and get Russian citizenship. Said, I'm Russian, not a Ukrainian, could have gone to Russia. A million Americans can move to France, grandchildren have a right to refuse to speak French if the French have to speak French. This is Ukraine. You need to speak Ukrainian. England, you need to speak English.
In America,
You know what I mean?
You can speak whatever you want.
Exactly, and what they were trying to get away from. They weren't trying to get rid of Russian people. They were trying to strengthen and preserve Ukraine.
Did they punish them if they didn't want to conform to the Ukrainian language?
Depends on what you call. You got to remember what they have terms in this country. So it depends on what you define. If you don't petition for a government job in Ukrainian, you would not get a job. You might consider that a punishment of the job. Like there are many jobs here where you're speaking English. There's also many jobs here where you're required to be bilingual. Are you being punished if you're not bilingual? No, you just don't have the requirements for the job.
I don't think there's a whole lot of businesses here that require you to be bilingual. I think they give them a bonus for being bilingual.
Not anymore.
I mean, like, I guess if you went to a certain part of town that only fucking Spanish people lived in, and that's all they spoke was Spanish, then I guess you'd probably need someone that spoke Spanish in that demographic area. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and so
that was like, again, it was a question of reality, what was happening to promote his own agenda. Okay, but guess what? When you're in Russia, guess what language you're allowed on all the government forms?
Russian.
Now,
obviously,
they're not. Now, does that mean that they're trying in Russia that's not Russian? Nope. It's just you're in Russia. You need to do everything. Like when I moved there, I would have all the people that spoke English.
Right, dude. And if I went to like Mexico
in the middle of
or Spain
podcast. So somebody was asking what's going on.
If I go to Spain or Mexico or something, I should have a general idea of how to speak the language.
Oh yeah,
or like if I go
it's
to
wonderful.
Philippines.
Yeah, it actually have two official languages.
That's why I haven't ever been to Mexico.
So the Philippines is different because English in the Philippines.
Well, no, but is English their main language though?
It is one of two. Every bit of business can be done in English or Filipino. They don't start teaching English until high school there. So the population didn't go to high school, much less finish. Have a really hard time if you don't speak any Tagalog, and I do struggle sometimes. You know? Do you speak any other languages, Brad?
No.
Okay, so you're speaking in another language, first language. You're always really hesitant because it's so easy to be accidentally offend somebody, or to accidentally get something wrong, or to accidentally
like breakfast tacos. Where you're talking to a bunch of people in the Houston area.
No, that was just some ignorant bullshit. But it's what we can expect from the greatest doctor in the history, Dr. Jill Biden.
You're right.
So, but you probably noticed it even with ESL speakers here, from all over. Get that they understand what you're saying, and they can speak a little bit, but they talk is because it can be really bad if you say the wrong shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then even phrases can come across really wrong. We were just talking about it me and Brian and like Philippines, like using your eyebrows is a way of saying yeah, but here it's a way of flirting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, going mm-mm. In the Philippines, that's yes.
Crazy.
So
Yes.
yeah, so and there is that hesitancy. Um, if you don't speak a language, it's going to be tough. Now, Russia, because
that's why I like universal sign language.
there isn't a universal sign language either.
Pretty much. There's a general
No.
sign language.
Yeah, that general sign language is called American Sign Language. There's different sign languages on every continent. That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, that's what it was. Just Ukraine was trying to preserve Ukrainian culture, but you also have to remember that for 60 years, longer than that, 1,000 years, every country that came in and conquered the area tried to erase culture and history. And so they finally independence for the first time in hundreds of years, and they were trying to reclaim their language, and it was trying to destroy Russian culture. They weren't trying to destroy. If you want Russian culture, well, you probably grew up with Russian culture. So your turn to talk for a second.
Yeah, well, I'm about to close it up, so hurry back. Anyways, yeah, so I get Rob's deal, and I agree with him on the whole free speech thing with getting rid of Alex Jones. It was kind of jacked up. It didn't need to happen. It shouldn't have happened, especially if you're not going to especially if you're promoting free speech absolutism. But yeah, Elon Musk has his reasons for not doing it, and I'm sure that if you asked him, he would tell you. Maybe not, but I don't know. Usually when people ask him why they suspended that person, he himself actually comes out and says why. So it seems like that $8 subscription thing didn't work out for him very well. He's got to get some kinks tied out of that one. People thought that Twitter was going to flop because all those woke employees decided they couldn't handle working 40 hours a week at an office that they were getting paid to be at. But then again, Elon Musk gave them 3 months severance and said, there you go, even though they said that they weren't going to work there. And everybody said that Twitter was going to fall apart and there was going to be a breach in security. And then you got CBS, who can't stay off of Twitter for more than 48 hours, come back on. And then how convenient after that, CBS, who told President Trump that the Hunter laptop fiasco was all false and couldn't be verified, on 60 Minutes, they decide that they're going to come out and say, oh, yeah, turns out that Hunter Biden laptop, that would have became useful in the 2020 election that everyone got silenced for talking about. Oh, yeah, it's real. And then Twitter decides that they're going to put Trump back on, and oh my God, the left melts down, and Trump hasn't even posted on Twitter, and the left smooth brain idiots decide that they're going to freak out about Elon Musk. There's going to be so much hate on Twitter, blah, 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 but yet the people can't stay off of it who complain about it now. That's very interesting.
Well, I will that Twitter has been nothing but hate for the last. It was just going the direction they wanted.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Nobody was kicked off for saying, like the Ayatollah. He wasn't kicked off. They weren't kicked off for anti-Semitic remarks. If you were on the left, Ilhan Omar, who's a brother banger, she was still on there. I mean, come on.
And she advocated Israel. Like the only difference between her and the Ayatollah is she hasn't yet pushed for the destruction of America, even though she towards that goal.
Right. And I'm glad, I'm glad that we won the House. I'm glad that there's still stuff going on in Arizona. There's going to be some lawsuits going on there. Hopefully it comes out the way we need it to. Katie Hobbs is a little twit that shouldn't be running anything, let alone elections for her own governorship. That's kind of
Yeah.
jacked up to
Well,
me.
so with all the stuff, I don't even care what the end result is. I count.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
A
want to know what happened.
transparent and accurate count. Oh, and then Timcast was talking about this on Timcast. It is time for conservatives to go full court press. There's only ban ballot harvesting. Like the rest of the states allow some sort of ballot harvesting.
Oh yeah, we need to use it. We need to figure it out. We need to use it against
absolutely.
them.
Now states that we had all the shocking pickups. California and New York. In New York allowed ballot harvesting. And guess what was happening? Ballot drop-offs in churches, in
gun ranges,
exactly,
gun stores. Yeah, no, we need to do that. We dude, if they're not gonna use the system against them, that way it'll give them incentive to change the system. And like you said, down in California and New York, all those places that allow ballot harvesting, we took advantage of it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, and that's what got us back, or got us to have that much of a red wave. We too could play this game. Looks like Rob just bounced out again on me, so I'm gonna keep going here. You guys, I'm grateful that you guys are here with us on Thanksgiving. We're just giving you our time, giving you our thoughts, going over some of the news of the day, and just we haven't really got off the rails or talked about Rob's donkey shows today, so that's pretty good.
Oh my God. I was so going to upload a clip of a donkey brain for when you inevitably brought up a donkey show. I was immediately going to cut to that video. By the way, the person who interrupted my feed there, fucking Brian.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. I mean, it's later than we usually go, so I want to thank everybody for dropping by. I think that we got most of the kinks out in the live show. I just need to remember to go through and shut off all of the apps so nobody can try and message me on my 20 messaging apps. So I don't get interrupted, but otherwise I think this one actually went pretty smooth. So again, I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to come on here to bullshit with Brad and have people come and listen to us. And yeah, just thanks for joining me tonight, Brad. I know you got stuff going on with your family, so glad you hopped in.
Oh yeah, no man, I'm thankful to be here, and I was really pushing for it, especially after the weekend of news that we got. Man, it was ridiculous. So yeah, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful that I have a voice and that you guys are allowing me to get my voice out there. I hope you guys would do us a favor: like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, click all notifications so that you can be notified when we bring out new content. Hit that Rumble button. Share this all over all the social medias. If you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, give us a rating. We'd prefer 5s, but we'll take the lower end too. We want to know what we can do to improve our content to keep you more informed.
All right, y'all have a great night and happy Thanksgiving. Thanks so much for joining us.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.